Kim and David really make this job to make sure that everyone feels connected, and they are a little bit like our mother and father, like they are taking care of all of us. Like they are going from one point to another point and like checking that everyone is feeling good, and whatever you need, they're always here for you and always the first to try your food and say what they think about it.
We are wrapping up our week with the Lowe Family Wine Co. on Tinja Farm in Mudgee. And our final episode, we are actually heading into the lovely town of Mudgee and chatting to Marek Delacre, who is the head baker at Althea by Zin. I was lucky enough to go to Althea. It is such a cute little bakery. Everything I tried there was delicious, gorgeous bread, beautiful pastries, viennoiserie, and Marek is the man who puts it all together. Welcome to Dirty Linen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marek. Tell us a bit about Althea and what you do there.
So I am basically the head baker here, and I am with a wonderful team of different people that are doing a good job. Basically, what I'm doing, I'm supervising everything, all of the production, all of the ordering, all of the baking, all of the order with the customer. I'm also trying to update and remake some old recipe that we used to have in France, and also some characteristic recipe that we can find over here. We also, I'm also very focused on trying to use most of the natural product as possible. As you know, at Lowe, we got our own garden, and we are trying to use most of it. Everything is organic, everything, we try to have most of it from our own land. And this is such a great opportunity, like to be able to literally explore new horizon about tasting compared to other standard bakery. Like we can really like go far, and
What are some of the things that you're using from the farm at the moment? Tell me how they make their way into the bakery.
So at the moment, I'm using a lot of green. So I'm using like silver beet, kale, parsley, fennel. We are using also, like we got our own beef and our own sheep from the farm. So we are making our sausage rolls with it, with all of the green at the moment. Like example, this morning before to come to work, I had a stop at 3 a.m. to the garden, and I collect myself some bucket with silver beet and different type of cabbage. I'm also using some cauliflower leaf, and most of the things that at the kitchen at the Zin house they would maybe not use, like example also like the carrot leaf and things like this. And I'm making like a garden bread out of it. So all of this is getting cooked together with some sesame seed, and then I'm putting it into our sourdough. We also got our quiches, which are made with the products from our farm, with spinach, different type of spinach and onion, everything cooked. What else? So our fruits too. Like most of the fruit, like as you tried the last time, we have our own Danish, and on the Danish we are having the fruit that are coming from the farm. Some of them are fresh, some of them have been processed last year and have been soaked to be preserved for a year, like a pickle process, I would say. That's pretty much it.
Wow, it's amazing. And I love this image I have of you at 3 a.m. out in the garden picking silver beet. Was it a moonlit, starry night, or did you need to have your torch out there with you?
No, actually, like tonight was great. Like this, the sky was clear, the moon wasn't full, but like in a couple of days the moon will be full, and so no, like the vision was perfect. And like there is also like the kangaroo at night and everything that they come to have their turn on Lowe when no one is there. And it was such a privilege to be there in a very quiet moment with like the kangaroo moving around and me taking my silver bit for the garden and like, oh, there is a bit of that. Oh yeah, we'll take that too. No.
That is quite a unique experience for a baker to have this resource and these other experiences. And Marek, clearly you weren't born in Mudgee. Tell us the differences that you've found with an Australian bakery that you're running there, a sourdough bakery, and some of the bakeries that you worked at in France.
All right, so If I compare with Althea, when I arrived here at first, like they were already having a very big French style, I would say. So like a lot of the product here was very similar to what I used to do. But something that I can definitely say that is that I'm very impressed and working with some nice products, like example the almond croissant or ham and cheese croissant. This is not something common that we have in France. This is like typically Australian. Which is very nice because I mean I'm sure if I go back in France and I show them that, like, yeah, they would be very surprised and everyone would love it. Also the pie, like in France we used to make pie, but it's more family things. It's more like we make like big pie. We don't make like single pie for one person. And yeah, this is also something that here in Australia there is that is very nice. Yeah, I would say like, yeah, in France, we used to have more diversity of bread. Like we are really like going crazy on a different type of flour and things. And also, of course, here in Australia, it's happening too, but it is less common, I would say. I mean, what I saw until now. And yeah, but about the croissant, most of the, what we call like the pain au chocolat, the Danish. That's Danish is something that in France is not common at all. And I noticed that here in Australia it's quite common to find Danishes. But in France, no, like we are not used to add fruit in our vineyardry. And this is also like a great thing that actually if one day I go back to France, I would bring that back with me. Definitely.
That's so interesting. And what about the humble sausage roll? I don't think you have those in France either.
No. I forgot this one. You're right. No, that's true. We do not have it. No, we do not have it. Most of the savory in France, like it's, I mean, most of the time in a traditional bakery, like it would be more like pizza or sandwiches. We do a lot of different type of sandwiches. Some of them very complex, very refined. But something good, I mean, simple and very good as a sausage roll. That's also something that, yeah, in France, I'm sure it will work very well.
I mean, what about the customers and how they want their bread? Do you find much difference between Australian customers and French customers?
Yeah, definitely. Australian customers are amazing. They are amazing. I mean, the French customer too. But yeah, in Australia, like people are very happy easily, I would say, compared to what we use in France. Like in France, like, yeah, we like example, we got like 4 type of baking. So you can have your baguette, example, you can have it white, gold, brown or black. While here in Australia, everyone like it pretty white or goldy. And yeah, even if it got a bit of color, people like it. If there is less color, people like it. While in France, no, yeah, people will refuse the bread because it's not exactly at the right way that they want it to be baked. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of French mentality, you know, like people are very precise about what they want. While here in Australia, I find it more, I don't know what to say that, more familial, I would have to say, you know, like I can really feel that people are appreciating that you're a baker and that you are doing something for them. And like, and you try to be close as possible of what they want. And, yeah, even if sometimes like, yeah, they're asking you something and you're close to it, but you're not 100% on what they were expecting, people are very happy. While in France, no, we can have an argue about it. People will have an argue.
That's so interesting. And so someone comes in France, they look at the baguette, they're like, no, I want it darker. What would you do about that? Like, do you put it back in the oven?
No. I mean, all depends. If the baguette is fresh and just coming out of the oven, yes, I will put it back. If the baguette already been baked like about an hour ago, no, I won't, because then the baguette will become very brown. But then I will simply propose to the customer that next time that he comes, I will put another one a bit more brown on the side just for him.
Wow, that is amazing customer service. But yeah, I can't imagine being so particular. I suppose, you know, there are some bakeries where I live in Melbourne where you know that they do bake their bread a bit darker, somewhere, you know, they bake it a bit lighter. So I suppose perhaps people have bakeries that they prefer for those reasons. But I guess in a town like Mudgee, you know, it's a pretty sizable town, but there probably aren't very many bakeries baking the way that you do, I would imagine.
No, actually no. We are 3 bakeries here, and I don't really know about the third one, but I know that the second one it's more industrialized, I would say. You know, like there is a typical Australian bread, like like the toast bread, like the square shaped bread from the tin. They are doing a lot of this. About sourdough really artisanal as we are doing here. No, actually, no, I think we are the only one. I know that there is another bakery that is doing it here in the Mudgee, but I never really have time yet to tell them hello and have a taste of their bread.
So, Marek, tell us the story of how you ended up in Mudgee. It's not I wouldn't say there are French people on every street corner there. How did you find your way to Althea?
So I found my way to Althea through the son of Kim Curry. I was actually never expecting to come one day to Mudgee, and it was about a year and a half. Yeah, 1 year and a half ago, I was working as a tree planter in Bathurst, which is 1 hour south from Mudgee. And over there, I met someone that told me, "Oh, I have a friend that is living next to Mudgee and is building a beautiful community, making permaculture and a lot of meditation." And this person is looking for people like mine to join and to join the adventure and build up all of this together. So I've been there, and so I met Sam Curry, and then we have this beautiful chat. We have this beautiful connection between each other about talking about permaculture and how we see how we could make a world better, just by trying to make people happy in any way that is possible. And he told me you should come. And I said, yeah, I would love to, but unfortunately I'm not Australian and I cannot stay here. This is the end of my visa and I'm about to come back in France in 1 year. He said, "Oh, well, what is your profession?" I say, "I'm a baker." And he told me, "Oh, yeah, my mom got a bakery in Mudgee." And I say, "Really? Yeah, they're looking for a baker. Oh, amazing." And so everything just gets connected. And so at this time, I wasn't able to start straight away. I had some other project. And I said, "Listen, if in 1 year when I come back, you still have a position available for me, I'm more than happy to join it." And then this is what happened. I came back 1 year after. They were looking for a baker. And I guess, say Kim, it was a manifestation. And then so now I'm here, very happy, making the bread in Althea, and I'm very happy and grateful of the trust that they put on me to manage all of this, and also I'm having a wonderful time with Sam to his place, and we are building up this community right now. We're actually working a lot on the garden, so actually I'm having a bit half life baker, half life farmer when I come back home, and this is amazing. I'm very grateful for that.
Wow, that's so lovely. And this idea of making people happy, making the world better, tell me more about that and how that drives you.
Oh, with simple things, at the moment we can see that people have a lot of expectation. People want a lot of things, and most of the time when they want things, they don't realize that they already have it. And with Sam, we have this the same mentality of trying to be happy with what we have a simple life, and have what is important is to be happy here, right now, in a present moment. What happened yesterday. What will happen tomorrow will happen tomorrow. But what is important is what is happening now. And often you can see that at the bakery that people are coming quite in a rush sometimes, and they got things to do, or their head is very focused on the future, or maybe on something that happened in the past. And really try that. When they arrive at the bakery, suddenly they are in the present moment, and they need to make a choice between a choice between a croissant, a danish, a pain au chocolat, or maybe a sourdough bread, or maybe a sausage rolls, maybe a quiches. And then suddenly they are just thinking about something that can make them happy at the moment, and when they're eating it, they are feeling relaxed, having a nice coffee with it, and after they are going back to their routine, but at least for a few minutes they have a break and they're in the present moment and try to be happy with what it's offered to them just in front of them.
I love that. And do you feel like working as a baker is a particularly good way of staying in the moment and, of not thinking too much about the future and the past?
That's a very interesting question. Actually, it does. It does, because baker, it is actually quite contradictory, because actually when you're a baker, you always need to think about future. The production that I'm making today is what I am expecting to sell tomorrow. All of the fermentation of the bread, it's minimum about 12 hours, sometimes up to 48 hours. So you always need to plan ahead. You're not really doing it at the moment. But then there is the other part when you arrive in the morning, and then you are in the present moment, when then it's important to be very focused on the present moment when you're putting your bread into the oven and take it out at the right time to have the nice colors, the best development as possible, and the best taste. So yeah, I would say that there is a bit of the both.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And what about the way that you can communicate through the things that you make? Do you feel like you're transmitting something of your philosophy to customers that purchase what you do there?
I'm trying to. By showing that with simple recipe and like simple things from the garden. Like example, like I really like the concept of the garden bread because most of it is that things that people don't want, who would like to have better. Like example, like they got the carrot and the carrot leaf. Now they don't want to use it. Like they would like to have a bigger carrot and they don't think about the carrot leaf. And me, I'm taking all of those things and try to make it in a bread in a very simple way. And then and share that with people. We actually trying to reuse everything, trying, I would say in my way, to show that with what we got around, we got enough.
Interesting. And Marek, I mean, you're in a really amazing part of the world in Mudgee, in that part of New South Wales. Obviously, it's a busy life being a baker, and you work long hours and hours when other people are perhaps asleep sometimes. And you've got the permaculture project as well. But have you had time to explore the region and tell me what you've found and enjoyed there?
Actually, yes, I did have a little bit of time for it, and I've been very surprised. Because before I used to spend a lot of time in North Queensland, and so I used to spend a lot of time in a tropical area, and used to spend my time in a forest and climb coconut tree and make basket and eat fresh coconut and things like this. And when I came down to Mudgee, I was a little bit feeling that on the first look, it seems to be a large forest and very dry and very similar. But then after a while, I start to then hear from the locals like, oh, there is this place with this name and this name and this name. And so I've been to those places and I've been very, very surprised. So surprised. Like there is a place called the Drip here, or actually is a crack that happened in the earth, and so you got then that sort of cliff with a river at the base of it, and so you can see that suddenly there is a total different ecosystem. So even though on the top of the cliff you can still see the eucalyptus and a kind of dry style forest on the top, underneath you almost get a rainforest. There is also another place called the Fern Tree Gully, and wow, this is just amazing. This is like a crack that been through the earth. And this is totally another world, another forest with other animals and things. And it's a very small space, it's a work that you will do in maybe 1.5 hours to go from one point to the other point. And yeah, you're totally going through another world. And this is very amazing. There is also some beautiful high place. Like there is a place called Castle Rock that you need to make a good 2 hours walk. And then when you arrive there, you got this I don't know how to explain, but it looks like a rock that been built up on each other and each other and each other and keep going. And actually, they are going over the canopy. So you can climb all of this. And when you arrive on the top, you got this immense view on all of the forest and the wild all around. And suddenly, you're feeling so alone. And yeah, the only things you can see far in front of you is beautiful trees, beautiful bird. When you go there for the sunset, you can see a beautiful sunset, and you also have all of the birds that start to make different singing and things around, and it's quite magic. I'm very surprised. At first, I really had a first impression of it seems a bit bored, I would say. And then more I'm exploring, and more I'm like, oh no, this is amazing. Just an hour south from Mudgee, also there is a place called Sopala, which is a beautiful place where suddenly it became mountain, and you can go down to the mountain between two mountains, and you got this beautiful river full of pine tree, and there the climate is totally different again. And actually I didn't visit all of them. There is a lot of other places that people told me about that I'm looking forward to go and having a walk there.
I love it. And Marek, tell me about being part of the Tinja Farm, the Lowe family. What's it like, almost like this ecosystem of different food and wine businesses?
Oh, this is amazing. They are very open-minded people, very wake-minded people. They are very conscious about the land where they are. That's something that are very fun and interesting, and also about Mudgee in general. But like this connection to the land. Like at Lowe, they want to reforest some area for the koala to come back. They are planting a lot of native species that are from Mudgee. Like they are trying to use some native vine grape. And they are also using like a biodynamic concept. So like they are not using any chemical fertilizer. They are doing everything on their own. The garden is a mix between permaculture, syntropic culture, and traditional gardening and things, but everything just work together. The way that they are with people too, they are very like open. We used to have like once a month, once every 2 months, like a gathering all together, just with all of the team of everyone, just to have a bit of time all together, to don't be just in a work mode. Like everyone is very Kim and David really make this job to make sure that everyone feel connected, and they are a little bit like our mother and father. Like they are taking care of all of us. Like they are going from one point to another point, and like checking that everyone is feeling good, and whatever you need, they're always here for you, and always the first to try your food and say what they think about it. And that's very good, very very agreeable.
Oh, that sounds really idyllic. I was really thrilled to eat your bread in the restaurant, Zin, on the property. What's it like for you to know that your bread is making its way to those menus?
I'm very happy. I'm grateful and very happy when I feel that they like it, and make me feel very good when also like there is people coming to the bakery and saying, oh yeah, we've been to the restaurant yesterday and we tasted the bread and it was amazing, and now we are going back to Sydney and we want to take one bread with us, or maybe 2 or maybe 3, and so they're taking all of this bread and they're coming back home and they're very happy.
Yeah, brilliant. So Marek, it's so great to hear from you, learn a bit more about your philosophy and the way that you approach your work. Where do you see the future going for you?
I am in a present for the moment, I would say.
Yes, that's right. I haven't learnt enough from you to not ask that question. Very good answer. I love that. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's really wonderful. As I'm chatting to you, I feel like I'm back in the bakery, smelling those beautiful smells and having those hard decisions of what to choose, what to eat next, but definitely in the present moment. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for your invitation.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.